We are joined here by the Milwaukee Alliance, also the Family Ties, and of course the family and mother of Sylvia Therion. Today we are here to address what we believe to be the most reckless, the most callous, and most inhumane death that has taken place in a correctional facility in this country. On December 16th, Sylvia, a 20-year-old woman who had a known tendency and had a known history of suicidal ideation. She had a known history of ingesting objects, was provided materials on December 16th, which ultimately, we believe, resulted in her death. What is so disturbing about this incident that took place on December 16th is that we believe that there to be correctional officers who were responsible and had provided these objects to Sylvia, knowing that she had suicidal ideation, and also had a history of ingesting objects. What we see today is a lack of accountability, a lack of transparency, and here we are again asking for this jail to release the video of what took place on December 16th and to take responsibility, in that the staff members and correctional officers responsible for providing an inmate objects such as a diaper, an adult-sized diaper, on December 16th of last year. If you recall, back in early December, we stood right here along with the Breon Green family, who joins in solidarity with the Therion family today. And we asked the same thing. We asked for transparency, we asked for the video, we asked for accountability in the death of Breon Green. And just 2 weeks later, another incident of alleged suicide took place at this same facility. The mismanagement, the deliberate indifference to human life cannot continue to be tolerated at this facility. What we saw in Memphis earlier this year in the Tyre Nichols case, as it relates to transparency, my co-counsel, attorney Ben Crump, has called the investigation in that case the blueprint for America to follow as it relates to law enforcement agencies and transparency. What we saw in that case was within 1 week, we saw the family had access to the video, and they were able to see and get clarity as to what took place with their loved one. Within just 2 weeks from the incident, the world was able to see what took place with Tyre Nichols. Something's wrong here in the state of Wisconsin. Something is wrong with how law enforcement agencies are handling incidents that take place to loved ones in this city. And we cannot stand and allow 2 months, 3 months, all the way up to 6 months before transparency and before families get closure as to what happened to their loved one. I'm currently working with State Senator Lenita Dawson and working on getting laws changed. We are working on strengthening the open records law so that we will have transparency and so that families are not waiting over 6 months to be able to get clarity as to what took place to their loved one. In order for families to move on and get closure, they have to come to a point of forgiveness. And the only way that you can get to a point of forgiveness is to understand and know who the person you are to forgive. And that can't take place when you have these delayed, exaggerated investigations that are going 3, 4, 5, 6 months before these families get answers. We cannot stand in front of this same building with another family who has lost a loved one from alleged suicide. And then we also have to ask the question, is it really suicide when it's alleged that correctional officers knew of a suicidal tendency and actually provided the object that resulted in the death of their loved one? We are going to be calling for a criminal investigation as to what took place in this facility back on December 16th. And we will not stop until this family get answers.
From the time Sylvia was incarcerated in this jail, she had mental health extreme issues. And because of their negligence to listen to me as a mother to try to help her while she was in the Milwaukee County Jail, her life has ended. I show you a picture of my daughter who actually graduated, who had a future. Now she is in my living room in a box. I ask that the truth be known in this situation. Anybody who knows anything to come forward so that we can put her to rest. And I ask that people come forward and help to make a change so this doesn't have to happen to any other family. This is a great loss. A great tragic situation. She was very loved, very cared for. She loved others, she loved to sing, and she believed in Jesus. I am asking the world to pray for her and us as a family, and that we come together to make change. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Verdine. I'm with the Milwaukee Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. We'd also like to thank Attorney Lamar for again standing with the great citizens of Milwaukee County. I'd like to also now hear from Carrie Amy Arndt. She's from the Wisconsin Family Ties and has been an advocate on behalf of Sylvia for many years.
I would just like to say that I've known Sylvia for quite a long time, and while everything is talking about her mental health right now, I want everybody to know that she was a great person. She just didn't have mental health. She cared about her mother. She was so caring about other people. She loved to sing. From the time she was little, putting puzzles together, doing stuff at church. At times, she would be the only one who would show up to the youth group at their church in Green Bay. The only one. She also sang at a Christian coffee house. She had her ups and downs, and here it was mainly down, and we are calling for reform for this. There needs to be change for mental health in the state of Wisconsin. As a child on, Carrie tried to get her help, and it's turned every which way. It's a roadblock. It's a roadblock due to insurance, or what county program are you in, or you're just going to get sent to Winnebago Mental Health for 3 days and then get released just to ingest something on the day she gets out, and you have to go back again. We are looking for change, and we need closure. Sylvia deserves this. She was a wonderful young woman, and nobody deserves this. And I will just say to everybody out there, there's not a single person who thinks they're going to have a child with a mental health issue. 1 in 4 people in the state of Wisconsin will utilize some type of community service. So look around, all of us here. You must know somebody who has some type of mental health issue, behavioral issue, or disability need. That is a huge stat, so we all need to come together. Thank you.
As Attorney Lamar has stated, we were here not too long ago on behalf of Breon Green, who we also believe died due to neglect, disrespect, and mistreatment here at the county jail. Now we'd like to hear from Ms. Laquita Dunlap, Breon Green's mom, who's here in solidarity with the family of Sylvia Tyrion.
Hello, I'm the mother of Breon Green, who also died in police custody June 26th. I'm here to show support for Sylvia and her family because enough is enough. You know, we want transparency, we want accountability, we want justice for our kids. They left us way too soon. He was 21 and she's 20. you know, something is going on in here, and investigation needs to be done. You know, it's time for it to stop. It's not going to stop here. It needs to stop now.
And so we of the Milwaukee Alliance are here to say enough is enough, and we'd like to have Alan Chavoya close us out today.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alan Chavoya. I'm the Outreach Chair of the Milwaukee Alliance Against Racism and Political Repression. Thank you for joining us today. Our hearts are heavy as we have, as we have to yet again speak about the death of someone while being held in custody here behind me at the Milwaukee County Jail. In December of last year, Sylvia, a 20-year-old woman struggling with mental health concerns, died while in the custody of this jail. Like most stories pertaining to deaths and harm inside this jail, we were told that investigations were underway, and then the story quickly gets swept under the rug. Sheriff Danita Ball ran on a platform of community trust and transparency. Well, where's the transparency? How can you build trust with the people of Milwaukee if you refuse to be transparent about what's going on in this jail that you oversee? We've been demanding for Sheriff Ball to be transparent since the death of Breon Green 8 months ago. To this day, Sheriff Ball has refused to be transparent with the family. Breon's family wanted to tour inside the county jail to better understand what's going on in there. Well, it's been nearly 2 months since Sheriff Ball promised us that, and she hasn't answered any of our calls. Sylvia's death, as well as Breon's, these were completely avoidable. Those responsible for their deaths are the ones who run this jail. Since there is no oversight for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, they aren't accountable to anyone but themselves. They create their policies, they dictate how to operate the jail and the House of Corrections. So, if Sheriff Ball is committed to building trust with the community and actually cares about the populations under her so-called care, why don't you make those changes that ensure the proper care for the people in your care? Why don't you make those changes that eliminate the harms to the people inside of there? Why don't you actually ensure that people with mental health concerns get the care they need and are treated in facilities that are actually equipped to handle these cases? There's a problematic here. There's a problematic over-reliance on the Sheriff's Office and the police to handle mental health issues. And this isn't a coincidence. This is by design. The funding for mental health services in this county, in this city, has been slashed over the years. But this is a dialectical relationship. Their funding goes down in order for the sheriff's budget and the police budget to rise. And with all the money they receive each and every year, they still have the audacity to demand more and to say that they're quote-unquote understaffed and hence cannot adequately care for the people in their custody. These are lies. And these lies are costing people their lives. The Sheriff's Office must be held accountable for the deaths of Sylvia and Breon. They are not prepared to handle cases of people with mental health concerns. So we should fund public health services instead of them. That money should be going to these services rather than to the sheriff. We need to see what's happening inside that jail. Either release the footage or show us how you're not doing your job, or actually let people walk through your jails and stop dragging your feet, claiming to be transparent, claiming to want to build trust. Again, our hearts go out to Sylvia's family, to Breon's family, and to everyone who has passed inside this jail due to the neglect, due to the lack of care that the Sheriff's Office has shown time and time again to the people of Milwaukee. Thank you.
All right, with that, we'll take a couple questions, if any.
When you asked for a surveillance video on this particular case, I know the last issue, the last step was you asked for that video. That's for this case as well, and what have you been told?
Yeah, we have put in our request for surveillance video. It's our understanding that Sylvia was on suicide watch at the time that this incident took place. So she should have been monitored continually for over a 24-hour period. So there should be surveillance video showing her activities, showing anything that the correctional officers did when they provided her the diaper. So all of that should have been captured, and at this time we're demanding the release of that video.
And the diaper, is that something normally that she would have had in her possession?
It's our understanding at this time that she did not have any medical issues that would warrant a diaper. So again, we are looking for answers to find out if there is any type of medically related reason in which she would have, it would have been necessitated, but at this time we're not aware of any.
And what did the family tell the jail about mental health needs for Sylvia?
Well, I think it was known that she had a long history of these type of issues well before she even came into this facility. She had been actually transported to a hospital from ingesting objects on, I believe, 6 times, on 6 occasions. She was actually went to a hospital. So now the question is now begged as to whether this facility was the proper place for her to be at to begin with, as opposed to a treatment facility. So again, with all of this, the collective of the issues that she's had, again, we really question whether she should have been in this facility on December 16th. All right. Thank you so much for your coverage, and we will keep everyone up to date with any new updates in the case. Thank you.